Christ is the head of this house, the unseen guest at every meal, the silent listener to every conversation. Welcome to He Carries Me Over Ministries Incorporated. We were founded on John 3:16, John 3:17, and I went on ahead and had John 3:18. This is God's salvation plan for everyone, not for a select few, but for everyone who believes. He sent His Son to the cross. He rose His Son out of that tomb. And He took His Son back to heaven to prepare us a place for everyone, not for just a select few. He did it for everyone. Jesus was sent on this earth not to condemn, but by through Him the world may be saved. And people, as a Christian, we have a job. Not to condemn and judge, but to win souls over for God. That's our purpose. We have no right to condemn and judge. Our job is to bring people over to God. And how do we do that? We bring them over to Jesus so He can save their soul. We can't save their soul. I don't care who tells you they can, they can't. If you're in a church and they ask you to come up so that we can save you, pardon yourself, get out that front door and take off running. They can't save you. They can lead you to the man that can save you, which is Jesus Christ. They can't save you. They can lead you to the man that can save you, and that man is Jesus Christ. Not them. They can lead you to Him. They can't save your soul. The believers are not condemned. The unbelievers are already condemned, as John 3:18 tells us. The believers are not condemned. It is written in His holy word. Prayers tonight goes for everyone. Goes out to everyone that's listening. You need a healing? Then welcome God in. He has that healing touch. And that's all it takes, people, is that one touch to be healed. One touch. Let me tell you something. As all of you all know, some of you don't. I was blind for 4 years. But it only took that one touch from Him that gives my eyesight back in one eye. And I said when I was blind, Lord, if I could just have my eyesight in one eye, I'll be happy. But He gave me my eyesight back in one eye. And I am forever thankful for Him for doing that. Prayers for everyone. Healing, financial problems. Take it to Him and put it, just drop it at His feet. And say, Lord, it's yours. And He will take over. But the answer comes on His time, not on our time. We are a group of people who wants it now. We're not going to get it now. It comes on His time, not our time. Remember that. But always remember this too. The answer is already on the way. It comes on His time, but it's on the way. Now, as I begin this last week, and then tonight, we've got 4 more weeks. And sometimes I say, Lord, I have no idea where I'm heading in this. But You are the potter and I am the clay. Just bend me, twist me. Shape me in the ways that You want me. For I'm just clay and You are the potter. And people, that's what He's doing. He's still making me. He's still bending, twisting, and shaking me in the ways He wants me. And that's what this is all about. This is not my ministry. It's God's ministry. Because I don't know what one thing to the next, what He's going to tell me to do. But I want you to listen at this tonight. Just listen. Okay? We're going back to the city of Sodom. Now, there were 4 cities involved into this destruction, and right now 2 of them leaves my mind. The most famous is Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, they don't know if Gomorrah was a city by itself or it was the suburbs of Sodom. But there is a wide belief that it was just a bedroom community to the city of Sodom. That's not cities are today. There's a bedroom community where people live and they come to the city to work in the suburbs. That's what they believe that Gomorrah was, in the suburbs of Sodom. But what caused God to get so angry at these people that He literally socked it to them? What made Him get angry at these people? What I find to be the most puzzling is found in the book of Genesis, where we all know the story. These 2 angels come in to warn Lot that they will come into the danger. And right there, people, they brought Abraham a warning. See, God gives warnings. He gives warnings. They come in and warn Lot to take your daughter and your wife and take off running for your life. Because the fire and brimstone is going to rain on Sodom and Gomorrah tonight. These men, as the Bible tells us, we know the story, come knocking on Lot's door. Bring these 2 out that we may get to know them. Now, let's think about that. Bring them out that we may get to know them. Back then, people, there was a law called hospitality, where some stranger would come into your city. You had to show them some hospitality. You had to be good to them. That was the law. Maybe that's what these men wanted to do. Bring these men out that we may get to know them. That's the original text to that. But today it has been changed to bring them out that we may get to rape them. That's not the original thing. That is a misinterpretation of what is really said. But what I find puzzling about that, if these men of Sodom was really after these 2 to do that to them, why did they go out that same night and rape to death a concubine? A concubine is a man's mistress, a woman. And they left her dead body on the doorstep of her mistress. People, if these men wanted to do that to these 2 angels, it just don't add up. Why would they go out and do this to a woman? They would have to take their sexual fury back on one another. It just don't add up. Not to me, it don't add up. But there was something going on in Sodom that caused God to hate this place, to hate the people, to hate the city. There was something going on. Now, let's go to Ezekiel. (16) 48, 49. Behold, this was a sin of thy sister Sodom. Her and her daughters were full of pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hands of the poor and needy. They were hungry and committed things before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. Now, many of these weren't a death sentence? It don't seem like it would, does it? Well, maybe well, they didn't care about the poor and needy. But before we get any further, Sodom was a wild city. It had a wall around it. But much of the cities back then did, because this added extra protection. Jerusalem had a wall around it. Remember the walls of Jericho? The walls of Bethlehem? These cities had a wall around them for extra protection. But what went on inside Sodom's walls? They were people that really needed nothing. They had plenty. But yet the poor and needy were starving to death at the gate of the entrance to the city. But would this warrant a death sentence? Maybe. They had a dig in Israel to find the city of Sodom, in which they did. People, they find writings on this wall, ancient writings. This city was run by girl gangs. These women of Sodom would entice the angels to come down and have sex with them. And you know an angel has no sexual organs. It's no male nor female. So there is one of the death sentences. They enticed the angels to come down and have sex with them. They were idol worshippers. There's another death sentence. There's two big death sentences. Now, I'm not going to say that rape was not in Sodom, because on the wall they could read that this was on the rampage. It was on the rampage throughout Sodom. But would this want a death sentence? But thanks to them other two. Enticing the angels to come down and have sex with them. Worship of the idols. Witchcraft. Now, when it comes to witchcraft, people, there's good and there's evil. These were the evil witches, who thought of themselves more and more. Who thought of themselves much like Satan did, or does, who thinks of himself as being beautiful. They did the same thing. There was nobody like them in the world. They were the most beautiful. This would absolutely want a death sentence. Now that night when them angels come, one night, see, God gives warnings to flee from Sodom because the end is coming. And they did. But his wife looked back when she turned to Sodom. Why did she look back? Because she was in on it. She looked back when she was turned to Sodom. As the fire and brimstone began to rain, destroyed it all. God gives us a warning never to go back to doing the things that Sodom did. Don't go back into it. In the New Testament. But before we get to the New Testament, let's go back to Proverbs. Give me a minute. If I'm on this book. 6:16. These 6 things did the Lord hate, yet 7 are abomination unto him. That abomination should be 7 are the things that he hates. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked imagination, feet that run swift to mischief, a false witness that speak lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. These are the things that the Lord hates, and every bit of this stuff is going on in Sodom. Every bit of it was. You look at his reward. He got destroyed with fire and brimstone. Now, for hundreds of years, they wondered, really was it fire and brimstone? Or was it two stars running together? Well, during the dig, they found a part of this wall. To me, it looked like gunshots. Boom, boom. But when they looked at that closer, around that was brimstone. So yes, it is true that Sodom was destroyed with fire and brimstone. Okay, now, that happened then. Now let's bring it up to the now. One time, Jerusalem got right into things that Sodom did. He says, "Oh, daughters of Jerusalem, your sins are worse than Sodom." I set an example of Sodom suffering the vengeance of the eternal damnation. But yet, on the day of judgment, I would tolerate Sodom and Gomorrah over this generation of the Bible. I will tolerate Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment over this generation of the Bible. People, we can't go back living and doing the things that Sodom did, because he gave us a warning about it. But if you look at the times today and comparing them back then, people were we're walking right in the path of it. Right in the same path that they walked into, we are walking into. Lying tongue, proud look, adultery, people cheating on each other, feet, hands that shed innocent blood, feet that run swift to mischief. And when there's something going on in the community or a society, there's always that one that wants to keep it going and never letting go of it. They want to keep it going. Isn't that what happened in Sodom? Yes, every bit of this stuff happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. And people, he's given us warnings. He's given us warnings. Now think about the SARS outbreak in Indonesia. 5,000 people died before they realized what was happening. Now think about the 9/11 terrorist collapse. Now think about that big earthquake that caused a big tidal wave to sweep the Indian Ocean, killing 250,000 people. Now think about that big earthquake in Japan. Oh, I remember that one. I thought sure Tokyo was gone. Now think about the MERS, Middle East respiratory syndrome that happened in Saudi Arabia that killed some, until they realized what was happening and they had to close it down. See, those are warnings that something is coming. It happened in 2019. And then 2020, January 2020. All of our eyes and our ears were on Kobe Bryant. In that magazine, People magazine in January, had this big picture of him telling everything about it. Right down on the edge of the right hand of it was a little bitty thing. Scientists are racing to find a cure for the coronavirus. We overlooked it because our mind was on Kobe Bryant. People, I know that some of this stuff may be man-made, such as this coronavirus. It could have very well been something kind of virus that they had in their laboratory in Wuhan It could have very much been. But who gave men enough knowledge to have that thing in that laboratory to study on? God did. God gives us warnings, people, and we better be taking heed to them warnings. Because he socked it to Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone. And today, it doesn't tell that the world will be destroyed with fire and brimstone, but it said it will be destroyed by the fever heat. We had better take notice to that. And all these warnings that he's given us, that something is coming. Because let me tell you something, people. He's socked it to us daily. With all this that's happening in the world, these feet that are running swift to mischief. These people are running swift to mischief. To have these big protests and tearing down the city. The crowds will become more wicked in people they are, because the crowds were wicked in Sodom and they're getting wicked now. These are signs that something else is coming. And people, the why sock it to is he's going to sock it to us so hard that he is going to show us that he is still the boss. We better take heed to what's going on. We better take heed to what is going on and not let our minds be took over by something else like we did in January 2020. Our minds were taken over. We missed the point down there on the right-hand corner of the page. We had better not become blinded, people, by Satan. We had better be looking onto that light, and we better take heed to what he's telling us today. Forever remember, Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed with fire and brimstone. And we better be thinking of what he's going to do today in that fevered heat. May God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you next week. Amen.